Hinei Ma Tov ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Hinei Ma Tov ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Hinei Ma Tov, שבת אחים גם יחד. Hinei Ma Tov, שבת אחים גם יחד. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for all to dwell together. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for all to dwell together in unity. Hinei Ma Tov, la 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 la. In unity, Hinei Ma Tov, la 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Barry Silver, and on behalf of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our celebration of Shabbat and of Mother's Day. Every day should be Mother's Day, but on this occasion, on this Shabbat, we are especially thrilled to celebrate our mothers. We also use a rational approach to Judaism. We believe that faith should be based on evidence, and faith in the absence of evidence is very dangerous and is usually wrong. In fact, I was raised to be skeptical by my father, Rabbi Sam Silver, the founding rabbi of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor. I was so skeptical that when my mother told me she loved me, I said, "Prove it!" Every day of my life, she has proven to me how much she loves me. And I hope that I can reciprocate in some small measure to show her how much I love her and how much I appreciate everything that she has given to me. On Mother's Day, we also should celebrate Mother Earth. Just like our mothers, it's the source of life for all people and for all living things. I celebrate Mother Earth, and I also celebrate Father Time, because Earth is precious and so is time. Many people in the religious realm dream of living in an afterlife forever. I have no need for such fantasies. This world, this earth, is so magnificent and so wondrous. I need nothing else. And I give thanks that on this earth was placed my mother and my father in order to make my life so wonderful. I give thanks to them every day, and especially on this Mother's Day. My father used to tell me that the word mother means something very significant. The M in mother stands for the millions of things our mothers do for us. The O in mother stands for the other things that mothers do for us. The T stands for the thousands of things our mothers do for us. The H stands for the hundreds of things our mothers do for us. The E stands for everything our mothers do for us. The R stands for the rest of the things our mothers do for us. And what do you get when you put all those letters together? You get slave. Actually, our mothers slave away for us, and we are so grateful. We're also grateful that on this Shabbat, we have Mishka Jet celebrating his 90th birthday. Father Time has been good to him, and Valerie Jet, who's also celebrating a birthday on May 9, but because we have discretion, we're not going to explain or describe how old she is. They will lead us also in the candle lighting. We also have Susan Feldman and Peter Malik. They will lead us in the Kiddush to show the sweetness of Shabbat and Mother's Day. And now, let the celebration begin.
Good evening, everyone. These lights are only flickering flames, yet flames illuminate our uncertain steps. Flames purify and renew, soften and refine. They brighten and make warm.
Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the greater Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshonu bo mitzvotav, v'tzivonu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Mishka and I have been members of L'Dor Va-Dor for about 3 years. We have enjoyed working with everyone and seeing everyone when we were in our sanctuary. This year has presented challenges that no one could have anticipated. But through it all, L'Dor Va-Dor adapted and reinvented itself to keep us together. We plunged headlong into the 21st century using technology to create wonderful virtual services and thought-provoking programming with an extraordinary artistic flair. It has given us a greater understanding of each other. And while we don't always agree with each other, we care about each other. For Mishka and I, that more than anything will keep us part of this wonderful congregation of L'Dor Va-Dor. To all of you, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. The Kiddush is one of the central rituals of Shabbat. For many people, the words and melody of the Kiddush evoke some of the most meaningful Jewish memories. Reciting the Kiddush is a fulfillment of the biblical commandment to remember the day of Shabbat and keep it holy.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Amen.
Amen. In a world where there is such little caring, I have been lucky enough to find two people who cared about me, Rabbi Barry and my dear friend Susan. So with that said, the all-important word for tonight is caring, and we have to remember that word with regard to each other and what it means to each and every one of us in our congregation. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
My father was 40 years old before he got married. And when he met my mother, she was a lot younger. He said, I didn't know if I should marry her or adopt her. I give thanks that with all those people trying to set up my father on dates for all those years, that he didn't accept any of them as his bride and he waited till he was 40. If any of those people that he met, he decided to marry instead of my mother, I wouldn't be here. I give thanks and I rejoice that he waited so long. My mother, on the other hand, she was married to someone who didn't show much interest in children. She quickly realized that this wasn't the right person for her. And so they divorced, and she met my father. My father was very kind and solicitous to her son. And she knew right away, a guy like that has a heart of gold. He's the person I want to marry. I give thanks to my mother that she had the knowledge and the discretion to know how to choose wisely, and that she chose someone who would be such a wonderful father. If she used other criteria and decided to stay in a bad marriage or to find somebody else, I wouldn't be here. And every one of us has a story just like that. We all are the product of random circumstances, each one more miraculous than the next, over generations that go back billions of years. If anything happened differently, you and I wouldn't be here. And so let us give thanks for the gift of life. Let us thank our mothers and our fathers, and let us rejoice with these traditional prayers. All of them can be summed up in one thing. Toda rabba, merci beaucoup, muchísimas gracias. Thank you to this universe, and thank you to our parents. Thank you for all of our blessings that give us life, and thanks for the miracles that occur every single day of our lives that allow life to continue to be sustained and to make life beautiful. Now let us engage in some wonderful Jewish prayers.
Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim. Bechokma poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים. במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו, ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Neta Here's to the mother, an unsung hero, the woman who takes on challenges large and small, and still brings it all together, making it happen. Every day, you wear many hats and play many roles. You're a chef, a homemaker, a stylist, a chauffeur, a hard worker, a baker, a doctor, a nurse. You're a fashion designer, a photographer. You're a spiritual force and a revered role model. It is you alone who holds the key to your family's heart and soul. And no one else can take your place. Yours is the only occupation on earth that can't be retired from or taken leave from or delegated to anybody else. Yet incredibly, you wouldn't have it any other way.
My dad used to tell wonderful jokes before the age of political correctness. He used to tell about the man who said, "I haven't spoken to my wife in 10 years. His friend said, "That's terrible, why not?" He said, "I didn't want to interrupt her." He also said that Yiddish was called Mama Lashon, the mother tongue. Why is it called the mother tongue? Because the father couldn't get a word in edgewise. In my house, my mother had lots to say, and my father did also. The house was filled with love and laughter and joy. But we did take some moments of silence to appreciate what we had. Every night we would have a bedtime prayer, and my dad used to have us say, "As I go to sleep tonight, I pray to you with all my might. Help me to enjoy what's right and always be my parents' delight." And then we would ask blessings upon everybody, all of our loved ones, all of the people in the world. It was really wonderful, but we also were encouraged to take time to reflect and to contemplate our good fortune. Judaism is very attuned to a period of silent meditation. And so we're going to spend a few moments of silence. I hope when we do, we might have some wonderful, joyous reflections upon our mothers, our grandmothers, and upon Mother Earth, and recognize how lucky we are. Let us enjoy these fond memories, and let us think of ways that we can create additional memories in the world today for ourselves and for our loved ones as well.
מי שברך אבותינו, אברהם, יצחק ויעקב. מי שברך אמותינו, שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi shebeirach avotenu, mi shebeirach imotenu. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Erev Shel Shoshanim, Netzena el Habustan, Mor Besamim Ulevona, Lerakilech Miftan, Erev Shel Shoshanim, Netzena el Habustan, Mor Besamim Ulevona, Lerakilech Miftan, Laila yored leot, Veruach Shoshan oshva, Avayel hashlach shir balat, Zemer shel ahava. Laila yored leot, Veruach Shoshan oshva, Avayel hashlach shir balat, Zemer shel ahava. Erev Shel Shoshanim, Netzena el Habustan, Mor Besamim Ulevona, Lerakilech Miftan, Laila yored leot, Veruach Shoshan oshva, Avayil hashlach shir baat, Zemer shel ahava.
Our Torah reading this Shabbat is from the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verses 1 through 10. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavarach, Baruch Adonai varach l'olam vahed, Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato, Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe b'har Sinai lemor, God spoke to Moses according to the Torah from Mount Sinai as follows: Daber el bnei Yisrael v'amart alehem, speak to the children of Israel and say to them, Ki tavo'u el haaretz asher ani noten lachem, v'shabtot haaretz Shabbat l'Adonai. When you get to that land that I am designating for you, you shall give the land a rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. Shesh shanim tizra sadacha v'shesh shanim tizmor kamacha v'asafta et tuata. For 6 years you shall sow, and you shall reap, and you shall plant your fields, your vineyards, and you shall gather the fruits of your labors. Uv'shana hashvi'it Shabbat Shabbaton. But on the 7th year there shall be a grand Sabbath, Yihiyeh la'aretz, that you should give to the Lord. Shabbat l'Adonai, a Sabbath to the land and to God. Sadacha lo tizra v'chamacha lo tizmor. You shall not plant or reap or sow in your field or in your vineyard. Et sefiach etzilcha lo tiksor. You shall not reap any harvest in your field. Et anve nezilcha lo te'aver. You shall not also pick up the grapes or plant grapes in your vineyards. Shana Shabbaton Yihiyeh la'aretz vayeta Shabbat ha'aretz lachem. Yes, your land gives you life, and so you must take good care of it and give it a rest. La'achla lecha v'l'avdecha u'la'ametecha u'l'kesircha v'l'teshuvacha v'hagerim amacha u'l'vametecha u'l'achia asher ba'aretz tihiyeh chol tuvuah le'achol. You shall allow the field to be entered onto by anyone who needs help, and who needs food. You, your female servants, your male servants, your cattle, your domestic animals, your wild animals, the stranger within your midst, the poor, everyone shall be able to freely take from the earth what they need in order to live for food. V'safarta lecha sheva Shabbatot shanim, sheva shanim, sheva pa'amim. And you shall also count up 7 years times 7, or 49 years. V'tihiyu lecha yemei sheva l'shabbatot hashanim teshav arba'im shana v'ha'avat shofar tuhu'ah b'chodesh hashvi'i. And after those 49 years, on the 50th year, the sound of the shofar, the sound of truah, shall be heard in the 7th month, ve'asur l'chodesh, on the 10th day of the 7th month, v'yom ha'kippurim, on Yom Kippur. Ta'aviru shofar b'chol artzachem, the sound of the shofar shall be heard throughout your land. Ukadashtem et shana hachamishim, and you shall sanctify that 50th year. Shana ukaratem dehor ba'aretz lachol yoshveha, and you shall proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. That sounds familiar? That's because you see these words on the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia. The blessing after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chai olam nata bitochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. In this Torah passage, Behar, we read words that are so amazing that they actually guide the principles that founded the United States of America. Proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. We read this in Behar. Do those words ring a bell? I hope so, because they're on the Liberty Bell. And those words ring true thousands of years later and are the guiding principles of the United States of America. We also have the words of a great Jewish poetess, Emma Lazarus, on another symbol of freedom and liberty, the Statue of Liberty, which is why it's often been said that freedom speaks with a Hebrew accent. We also see in the Torah the concept that we are created, all human beings of all races, in a divine image, meaning that all people have the right to be free. These glittering, wonderful precepts and ideals of the Torah have been an inspiration for people throughout time and throughout history. However, we must also acknowledge that in the Torah are also passages that are completely antithetical to these ideals. Within the very passage of Behar, which says proclaim liberty throughout the land, they talk about slavery and condone slavery and say that there's 2 different tiers of slavery. Slavery against fellow Jews and how you treat a slave if the slave is a non-Jew. If they're Jewish, you can't rob them of their spirit. You have to treat them with dignity. Not so if it's a non-Jew. If it's a Jewish person, the relatives must do what they can to redeem them, to pay their way out of servitude, and you have to release them when they're able to buy their way out. But a non-Jewish slave can be a slave forever. We do read about the Jubilee year. On the 50th year, all debts are released and slaves are let free. It's a wonderful passage also because in this Torah reading, it talks about the fact that people should have the right to have access to the food of other people, that the land that you have is not yours alone. It's actually a possession of God, and He gives it to you so that you can provide for yourself, but also you have an obligation to share it with others. In the Torah, as we see, especially in this passage of Behar, there are some extremely enlightened passages side by side with passages that rob humanity of our dignity. Not only that, but the Torah says, thou shalt not kill. And this passage has God speaking to Moses from Mount Sinai. When Moses was on Mount Sinai, God said that he was going to kill all of the Jewish people. He actually said that if anyone touches a mountain, even an animal touches Mount Sinai, they should be killed. This is extremely harsh, but what happens? Something extraordinary happens. Moses, the greatest Jew, because of this passage perhaps, challenges God. He says to God, wait a minute. You're the God of justice. Why would you kill people? And they're going to say bad things about you, that you liberated the Jews in order to kill them in the wilderness. So human intervention, human influence softens and changes God himself. And that has actually been going on for thousands of years because God is a human concept. And because it's human and because humans are evolving, then we constantly change and evolve this concept. At L'Dor Va-Dor, we practice something I call cosmic Judaism based on the ideals of Einstein, which says that human evolution, human progress is going to cause us to radically transform our understanding of God and of the world around us. So instead of God being some harsh supernatural power that's killing people left and right and striking them down, which makes absolutely no sense, we ascribe to a creative power that is not a thing or a who, but a process, a creative process transforming what is into what could be. And Judaism channels that creative process not only into what could be, but into what should be. My father had one of the greatest quotes that I've ever read, and he said, the greatest miracle is that we don't have to be tomorrow the person that we are today if we use all the potential implanted within us by God. I stand on my father's shoulders and I take that concept and I take it one step further. Not if we use all the ideals and potential placed within us by God, but by natural selection and all the ideals of Judaism. You see, Judaism used to believe in a supernatural power. I believe, and cosmic Judaism says, that the natural is super. Judaism, traditional Judaism, says that the Jews were chosen by supernatural selection. I believe that we were actually chosen for greatness by natural selection. It was natural that we selected ourselves for a holy purpose by ascribing to Jewish ideals. And so one of those ideals is the equality of all people and respect for father and mother. That's what we celebrate on Mother's Day. A Jewish doctor was once asked, why is it that so many doctors are Jewish? And he said, because our mothers are Jewish. Now he was being facetious, but it is true that the reason why Jews have survived for thousands of years, we're not the mightiest of empires, we're not the most numerous of people, is because I believe the Jewish mother transmitted through love and nurturing and affection and kindness the ideals and values of Judaism to the children. Fathers, of course, were also involved in that role. But the Jewish mother, the subject of many jokes and sometimes aspersions, the Jewish mother is known for being solicitous and kind and generous and being someone who cares deeply for their children. I give thanks. I give thanks for my mother on this Mother's Day. An incredible person, as I'm sure your mothers are too, a Juilliard graduate, someone who worked hand in hand with my father, also works and supports L'Dor Va-Dor with me. I think of all the great things about my mom that I could remember, and there were many. She was my tennis partner. She taught me how to play, and we played tournaments together. But the greatest thing I can say about her is that when all the kids were playing outside at our house, we had a trampoline, a basketball court. It was like a paradise for kids. And we read the passage about the Liberty Bell. But all my friends, sometimes they would ring a little bell, and the kids would have to run in. If we were in the middle of a game or a sport, it didn't matter. Dinner's ready, and they would come running in. We rang the bell of liberty. We were free to play sports until it got dark. and we were free to enjoy ourselves because sports and athletics and enjoyment and being with our friends came before a certain time to eat. My mom was so flexible that whenever we were done playing, that's when we eat. A lot of people think that would be weird, but we loved being able to play sports, and we loved being able to share time with our friends, and we love being able to do sports with our parents as well. I give thanks on this Mother's Day for my mother. I give thanks to Jewish mothers. I give thanks to all mothers. I rejoice on this Mother's Day. Let us celebrate our freedom, and let us celebrate the greatest miracle, according to my dad, that we do not have to be the person tomorrow that we are today, if only we use all of the influences and ideals that we picked up through natural selection and through our Jewish heritage. Shabbat Shalom.
My Yiddishe Mama, I miss her more than ever now. My Yiddishe Mama, I long to kiss her wrinkled brow. I long to hold her hand once more, as I did in days gone by, and beg her to forgive me for things I did that made her cry.
How few were her pleasures. She never cared for fashion styles. Her jewels and her treasures, she found them in her baby's smiles. And I know that everything that I am today to that wonderful lady, so old and so great.
To that wonderful Yiddishe Mama, my mama, of my.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
It's been said that we should not fear death, but we should fear a life unlived. The Kaddish reminds us of the finality of life and therefore urges us to make every day count, to consider every moment precious, and to reach out to our loved ones and let them know how we feel today without having to wait until some indefinite time in the future, which may never come. This is a great time for us to thank our mothers if they're still with us, and if not, to dedicate our lives to fulfilling their hopes and dreams that they had for us as we celebrate Shabbat and Mother's Day. And so we continue now with the reading of the Kaddish. Yiskedal v'yiskadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach ruseh v'yamlich malchuseh, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayeh l'chol beis Yisrael, v'agalav izman kari v'yimru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mivorach la'olam omei omaya, Yisborach v'yistabach v'yispu'ah v'yischoma v'yisnaseh, v'yisadar v'yisaleh v'yisalal Shemei l'kedusha b'rechu, le'elam en kol b'chasav v'shirasa, tushb'chasav v'nechamasa, da'am yaron v'yoma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlam Rabbah min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. The Kaddish, as I've mentioned before, does not mention death at all. It mentions life. It gives praise for the miracles that abound throughout this cosmos, throughout our bodies, throughout the whole world, that allow life to continue. So the Kaddish is a celebration of life. I've also written the 23rd Psalm. I've rewritten it in a modern way. So it also celebrates life, and on this Mother's Day, celebrates Mother Earth. The world is my treasure. I shall not want. I give thanks for green pastures that provide our daily bread. I rejoice in the sacred waters of ocean, rivers, lakes, and streams, and seek to restore the purity of these givers of life. I seek the spiritual path and the peace of a good name for my parents' sake. Yea, though I walk in the valley of the shadow of mortality, I shall fear no evil. For reason and love they comfort me, and I have no need of false gods. My enemies are defeated when I make them my friends. My mind is anointed with reason. My Yiddishe cup runneth over with emet. Surely I shall pursue kindness and mercy all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the abode of love and peace forever, and constantly give thanks to Mother Earth and Father Time, which have been good to me. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers watching. We hope your day on Sunday will be spectacular. Thank you so much for tuning in to our celebration of Shabbat with L'Dor Va-Dor. We hope that you're enjoying our service and our new brand of Judaism. It's a Judaism based on intellect, reason, and science. It's engaging, expanding, evolving, and exhilarating. It's a Judaism that can appeal to many, regardless of beliefs, backgrounds, or denominations. We invite you to join us on our journey to create the Judaism of tomorrow today. We hope that you'll take us up on our offer. You can learn more about L'Dor Va-Dor from our website, ledorvador.org, our Facebook page, and from all the videos we have available on our YouTube channel. I'm Sharon Leibovitz, and I'd like to share some exciting news with you. On Friday evening, May 21st at 7 p.m., we'll hold an in-person Shabbat celebration together at the Little Theater of the St. Aloysius Community High School on Lawrence Road in Lantana, Florida. We'll be socially distant and safe, and we hope that you will join us for this wonderful celebration of Shabbat together. This week, we'll hold our weekly Chat with Two Rabbis on Tuesday, May 11th at a different time. It will be held at 5 p.m. rather than the normal of 7 p.m. This is a unique opportunity to enjoy the insight and wisdom of two rabbis with two perspectives, from a progressive point of view from our Rabbi Barry Silver, and from the Orthodox point of view from our guest Orthodox educator and Rabbi Zvi Kahn. We welcome you to join us on Zoom for this special program at 5 p.m. on May 11th. On Wednesday, May 12th at 7 p.m., we will hold our monthly Friendly Fire discussion with Rabbi Barry Silver and guest Alan Bergstein. It will be in person at the Boynton Beach Congregational Church on Seacrest Boulevard in downtown Boynton. Also available on Zoom for you to watch from home if you desire. This should be a wild discussion from the right and from the left. Next Friday, May 14th, we'll celebrate Shabbat and the holiday of Shavuot, the time that the Jewish people received our Torah on Mount Sinai. We hope you'll watch and enjoy our service from YouTube. We invite you to join us for our Zoom and Schmooze tonight at 8 p.m., where we continue our celebration of Shabbat, get to see one another face to face, hear some beautiful music, and share some discussion on Zoom. We hope that you're doing well, being safe, and we wish a very happy Mother's Day to one and all this Sunday. Shabbat Shalom with lots of love from L'Dor Va-Dor to you all.
Now it's time for our final benediction, and also for a blessing for all those people who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries this year. I want to give you all a blessing. Please take this to heart, because I've learned from my experience how valuable these words could be. I wish for you this year, if you're celebrating a birthday or a new year of marriage to your life partner, or even if you're not celebrating any special milestone, if you're just celebrating life and this Shabbat and Mother Earth, I wish for you to make some really, really big mistakes. What, you say? I want you to make mistakes? Absolutely. Because if we don't make mistakes, it means we're not trying. It means we're living in fear. I hope that you will be brave and courageous and take chances and make mistakes. And that is the only way that you can achieve great success. I hope you'll learn from all of your mistakes, and I hope you'll also have great success and great achievement because you dared to take a chance and did not live in fear. Your mother and your father would be proud of you for being bold, being courageous, and have the courage also to accept a faith based on reason, not wishful thinking, not pie in the sky, but based on facing the reality of life and recognizing not only the challenges, but the amazing opportunities that lie ahead. Let us make this year the best year ever, because we have the boldness, the temerity to make mistakes and also to achieve greatness. May you be blessed and preserved with good health and with much love. May the light of love shine upon you always and be transmitted from you. May you be lifted up by the inspiration and the courage and the love that you receive from your mother and also from your dear ones, so that you can live life with courage and with wisdom and with joy, and so that you can make this the best year ever. I also want to thank everyone for joining with us on this Shabbat. It's been a pleasure to be with you. If we at L'Dor Va-Dor can help you in any way, please contact us. If you have suggestions for what programming we should do or how to make this Shabbat celebration better, we want to hear from you. If you're in need of contact with the Jewish people at this time of pandemic, reach out to us. We want to hear from you, your suggestions, your needs, your hopes. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Shabbat. We look forward to welcoming you and seeing you in the future. We're having an in-person Shabbat, May 21. We have exciting debates and discussions coming up. Please join with us and participate. Shabbat Shalom.
Shimin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, shimin tov, shimin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, shimin tov, shimin tov, mazel tov, shimin tov, yehi lanu, yehi lanu, yehi lanu, ulecho Yisrael, yehi lanu, ulecho Yisrael.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hands, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around, the hemisphere in the clouds. You're my pain, you're my sorrow, you're my hope for tomorrow. You're the strength when I'm hollow, you're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss. The gift to realize that everything
all
is
that
a gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it all.
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart. Aligned in purpose, everything
All
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all,
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan. But there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift. and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings, everything I am, and everything I see, everything I hope, and everything I dream, everything I feel, and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.